¿Cómo está Las Vegas? And welcome to Face the Tribune with the legendary Rolando Larraz. I'm your co-host, Chris Garcia. Before we start the show, I just want to send out our thoughts and our prayers and condolences to the people in Manchester, England, where the horrible terrorist attack took place. ISIS took responsibility for the murder of over 20 people at an Ariana Grande concert in Manchester, England, at Manchester Stadium. So we just want to say, everybody here at Radio Tribune and Las Vegas Tribune, our thoughts and condolences go out with the families over there. It's a senseless. I mean, this is why Trump is trying to take the attack to ISIS and not wait for them to do stuff, because we're losing too many lives to these nuts that are strapping bombs to themselves. And I mean, 5 of the children were under 10 years old and got killed. That's a shame. By shrapnel, you know how horrible that is, those kind of bombs. They just rip you. There were witnesses that said all they saw was flesh and stuff on the ground. You know, it was a 7-year-old girl, an 8-year-old girl. I mean, it's a shame. So, yeah. So with that, boss,
I agree. We all should be showing our condolence and showing our disagreement on those kind of behaviors, and hope that this can be a good example of what we are trying to avoid, and a good example of what President Trump is trying to. Don't signal her no more.
Just to close the door.
Yeah, sure. And this, I'm washing your hands, that's what it is. And that can be an example of what Donald Trump is trying to do about finishing that ISIS. Hopefully before the year is over. Yeah. Can you do me a favor, bring me my overcoat from my office so I can put it on? I'm just kidding.
So, but it's just a senseless loss of life over there. You know, these kids a lot of them missed their first opportunity to go out and enjoy themselves and go see Ariana Grande, who, to be a young lady, she's a tremendous performer. She's got a great voice, and I don't like any young pop singers. I'm a country music singer myself, but I like country music. But she's a tremendous little singer. She's about 17, 18 years old. Most of the people that were going there to see her concert were teenagers or younger. And so their first experience out, you know, some of them probably went by themselves, but their first experience out is to have some nut 23-year-old ISIS soldier scrap himself full of a bomb full of shrapnel and rip them apart, because that's what this stuff does.
But you know, I don't know, I may not be a good parent. I don't think I can be a good parent, but I would not let my kid go to any of that stuff. I wouldn't.
No.
I would not do it. You know, like that young lady, 18 years old, there was in Boston, I think it was, with her little sister. She died. Why would you send, I don't know, 7 years old with 18 years old? 18 years old. I don't care how mature they are, I don't care how old they look, it's still an 18 years old. You know, I believe that parents have to start sacrificing. You know, I believe that once you have a child, your life is not your life anymore. I mean, that's the way I felt all the time. Once you got a child, your life changed. You cannot be leaving the kid with the babysitter, with the daycare center, with the night care center, you know.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. A lot of people don't understand that. But their life becomes theirs, and it's a big responsibility, but it is. It's a shame. You know, like I said, their first experience out is you know, them running for their lives. They showed most of the highlights that I saw was just people running for their lives from the stadium and stepping over bodies, and that's not something for a 7 or 8 year old to have to experience. But these people are nuts, and it's a shame because we had a previous president, I don't even want to say his name, I'm so disgusted with him, but he wouldn't even say what it was. They're nuts. They're radicals. They're Islamic terrorists. I've studied Islam myself a little bit. I have family members of mine that are Muslim, and I know that it's a peaceful religion. And I've been to the mosque many times. Most people are very peaceful. At the same time, I'm speaking just for myself right here. I'm not speaking for anybody else. Muslims should take personal responsibility for getting these nuts out of these mosques, because a lot of them go to these mosques and they try and have safe haven there. They try and blend into the community. And a lot of the community members know that some of these people are terrorists and belong to terrorist organizations. And I know, being an African American man and my mom also being Hispanic, I always speak for everyone when I say certain things, but I take particular account of talking to other black men and how to conduct yourself, and because I have a lot of the same experience that they have. If you are a Muslim, if you go to a mosque, and if you know of people in your mosque that come to worship and they have terrorist thoughts, you should speak up about it. You should say something about it, because you shouldn't harbor people that you know are going to go out here and kill innocent people. Those kids are innocent. If you disagree with certain governments or you disagree with the United States, that's fine. I mean, I understand that. But to kill an 8-year-old kid who went to go to a concert, you're just a coward. That's all you are. They're just cowards, man. And you know, I just totally disagree with that.
Well, they're just trying to bring, produce the chaos out there. They're trying to scare people.
Yes.
They know they're losing power. They know they are losing the 15 minutes of fame that they was having with your president.
Yeah.
And what was his name?
Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh, okay. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
They losing territory, they losing fame, they losing energy, they losing people.
Yeah.
So they try to make a statement. That's what it is. You know, unfortunately, the statement is very strong, because when you kill children, what does say about you? That says that you, like you said, they're cowards. They don't do things the way it's supposed to be. That's why I said, if I would be a very, very bad parent, because I would not let my kids go alone to any of those places. And this, if they're going to die, we all going to die together. Right. You know, that's the way family should be.
That's right.
But people are like that, you know.
Could you look up that name for me, get a chance here? The name of I forget what his name was. I know ISIS took responsibility.
You can interrupt her. She's doing her duties now, you know.
Yeah, I know he was 23 years old, and he was a member of ISIS.
What am I looking for?
The Manchester terror attacks name. So it's like the Manchester terrorist attack in England. Yeah, it's a shame what happened. And that's what Donald Trump is talking about. You know, and it's a shame, you know, when it happens someplace else, you know, people turn a blind eye to it. I'm very fearful that something's going to happen here. And you think we would have learned our lesson after 9/11? You think we would have learned our lesson, but here we are, still with open borders.
It's Solemn V.
What's his name?
Solemn, SALMANABEDI.
And how old was he? I think he was 23. He's just a kid himself, 23 years old. You know, and that's
22 years old.
22 years old. That's all. He's 22. The terrorist type guy, the one responsible. 22 years old. You know what? He's gotten those groups got a hold of him and brainwashed him and told him to strap a bomb on himself, and you know they promised them they're going to have 100 virgins in heaven, and your family's going to be taken care of. They're not going to do anything for his family.
No,
he's dispensable.
But now look at it, the bright side.
Yeah.
Now we got one full less.
That is one way to look at it. But America better wake up. We had better secure our and I'm just as fearful about our northern border, boss. People don't talk about that, but Canada's very loose with letting people into the country. I know they're starting to tighten up a little bit now, but they have been very loose with letting a lot of people from Islamic countries come over into their country without vetting them properly.
I hear that Canada is watching and making new law for immigration. Since the Mexicans start floating over there, they say, go back to your country, we can't afford to have you here.
Wow.
Yeah, it came out in TV, I didn't invent it.
If you can go on and read a little bit, I know you still got that on the screen, Sian, but just talk about maybe some of the victims or talk about some of the ages. A lot of the victims they were saying were very young.
So 22-year-old Salam Abidi as the suspected suicide bomber who detonated bombs as throngs of teenagers poured out of the arena in Manchester that killed 22 people. The suspect carrying explosives acted as a lone attacker and died in the blast Monday night, which left the wounded and the dead scattered across the arena, bloodied entrance and sent screaming girls running for cover, according to the police. Great Manchester Chief Constable Ian Hopkins named the suspect Tuesday, but said that the man's identity had not been yet confirmed by a coroner. The blast marked the deadliest terror attack on British soil since 2005 London bombing. Hundreds of residents remembered the newest victims during a Tuesday evening vigil. A powerful explosion shook part of the cavernous Manchester Arena late Monday as concert goers streamed out following the American pop star's last song. An 8-year-old girl and an 18-year-old woman have been named as the first victims of the attack, which has drawn condemnation and horror from around the world as a heinous assault targeting children.
That's a shame. And I'm fearful for our country. We're too reactive. We have a president finally that is proactive and wants to do something about it, and he has to fight tooth and nail to secure this country. It's a daggone shame, and I just fear it's going to cost American lives for people to finally wake up.
Yeah, but I don't know why he wanted to do that. That's anti-American. That is what else? Let me see what Pelosi said. Anti-American. How can you do that? How can you prohibit the entrance of these criminals to the United States of America? That's abusive. That's inhuman. Isn't that what Pelosi said?
That's what they all say.
All the Democrats. Yeah.
Einstein, Pelosi, Obama, all those nuts. They all believe in open borders. But you go to his house, and they have a beautiful house in the south side of Chicago. It's an iron gate. Barack Obama's an iron gate. Goes all around the house.
Yeah, of course.
In Hyde Park.
It's like a
beautiful iron gate.
Like that communist pope that we have now. Open the borders. Why don't you open your border?
Go to the Vatican and see if you can get in. You can't get nowhere near the Vatican. You try and go there. Yeah, it's amazing. All of them.
And then, people are afraid to express their opinion. But when you say it, or I say it, they agree. The Pope came over here. When did you ever see a Pope telling a government in a different country what to do, how to do it, and when to do it? It doesn't make any sense. These people are making a mockery out of the United States. And hopefully, our president is going to stop that nonsense. because that's what it is, a nonsense. It cannot be that way. We have laws. We have laws that have to be followed. It's not, I don't know if I can express enough my opinion on how I feel.
Yeah.
But it's like open the door, you have some people start coming to, how do you know who is who? What are they doing? How do you know if they want to go outside and smoke a cigarette? How do you know if they just come over here to use the bathroom and leave, or they might to steal everything, So, I need 15 minutes of your time today after the show.
I need 20 minutes of your time.
Uh-oh.
So that's an hour and a half.
Uh-oh. I don't have any gas in my car to take you anywhere. If that's what you want. My girlfriend took the car. So, she's the boss in my house. So, anyway, what else is, it is new in this magnificent world that we are living in?
They're still talking about Matt Flynn. He's going to, is that his name? General Flynn? But he's going to.
Flynn, do you mean?
Yeah, he's going to plead the fifth. And, but they're going to subpoena him. Congress is trying to subpoena him, but he's going to plead the fifth. He's not. He's going to lawyer up probably and not talk, which is, he's between a rock and a hard place. I don't know what that guy's going to do. They're trying to lock him up. But at the same time, he's trying to remain loyal to the president, but I don't know what the president can do for him right now. It's a legal issue right now. He's going to try and plead the fifth, but what do you think is going to happen with him?
The president can do nothing because you see what happened when he told Comey, he's a good guy. Now they said that he was trying to influence Comey. And they keep going with the same thing about why did he fire. He don't have to have an excuse to fire. He don't have to have a reason to fire. He lasted 3 months or 4 months more than what he should have lasted.
Yeah.
And he should have pulled Paul Ryan with him and taken with him. I don't know what's wrong with Donald Trump. I don't know, because since he became president, he is not the same Donald Trump in control. I know it's not the same thing to be in control of your company than being in control of the government, but I don't know, it's ridiculous. And I keep saying he needs to sweep the White House.
Yes.
I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure, I cannot guarantee that, but I'm pretty sure that if they sweep that White House, they're going to find some incriminating bugs.
Probably.
Probably. Oh, what is this? Oh, they left it here from the last administration. No, they put it in there before the last administration leave.
Yeah, he's trying to be loyal. I know he's trying to be loyal to the president, but it's going to be difficult at this point because his freedom is on the line, and he did the right thing and lawyer up and plead the fifth. But Congress is gonna I don't know what they're gonna be able to do to him, but they're gonna try and get him in front of Congress and really, I think, give him the one over. So I don't know. I think it's a witch hunt. I don't think nothing happened any more different than it happens in the election. I don't think nothing crazy happened. I think there's no doubt that they talked to some Russian officials, talked to some American officials, and I think Flynn was one of them. And the only problem that I have with the whole issue is that Mike Pence was not made aware of what was going on. That was my only thing. He was very upset at the president for not letting him know that some of these officials were talking to the Russians.
I'm not too sure he knew that.
Right.
I'm not too sure. Remember one thing, and I hate to be the delivery person of bad news. I hate to bring bad news, and I hate to give former Sheriff Doug Gillespie the opportunity to be right when he called me. What did he call me again? Conspiracy mentality theory. Okay? But let me tell you something. When that's another thing, and I'm going to talk about this because the mainstream media, I believe it was in channel NBC yesterday, they brought up the Billy Bush tape again. Well, let me explain this to you. Billy Bush is a little punk that want to make a name for himself. But he is also the nephew of the guy who Donald Trump was humoring and insulting in a way, and took, well, he didn't take it, but he think he took the presidency from him just because he's a Bush. Billy Bush, in my opinion, knew what he was doing when he made that tape, and I'm sure that he got something in return.
Oh yeah.
Either money, position, a job, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And time will be my witness. Okay? But remember when that tape make the main entrance and the newsrooms that day, we didn't see Mike Pence for 3 or 4 days. He disappeared. He didn't talk to nobody. Nobody saw him.
I remember that, yeah.
Okay? Now, on the other hand, Chris Christie was there by the candidate Bush, Trump.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's the difference between good and not too good. That's the difference between that.
Yeah.
Nobody saw Mike Pence.
That's true.
For 4 days, I think it was 3 days, whatever it was 1 day too many. And now remember, he brought Paul Ryan with him. They're friends.
Yes, they are.
They said that publicly. I don't have any reason to know that on first hand, but I have no reason not to believe the Vice President of the United States.
That's right.
You know, he's my friend. And Paul Ryan said, then Mike Pence is his friend, and he opened the door for him in the Trump administration. So, you see what it is to be having a mentality of conspiracy theory? You see what it is? You can see beyond the reality. You can see more behind the people's mind. You can see where the evil is. That's what they call it conspiracy theory, because they don't want you to open your mouth. They want you to keep your mouth shut and let the water run peacefully. That's not the way a good man should be doing it. You see something wrong, you have to put it out there in the light. That's my opinion. But what do I know? I'm just a poor little Cuban refugee with a funny accent. It's not even funny, that's the problem. It's real. But I tell you one thing, I talk with an accent, but I don't think with an accent.
That's right. Well, it's pretty funny. One of the things that we were talking about the budget.
Check the kitchen and see if it's a fire in there.
We were talking about the budget, and we were talking about how, one of our complaints is that, these illegals come over here and how much food stamps that they get, this, that, and the other. Well, Trump's budget plan includes big cuts in food stamps and Medicaid. President Trump's budget deal would drive millions of people off food stamps. $193 billion cut from food stamps over the coming decade. A cut of more than 25% by cutting back eligibility and having work requirements. That's exactly what we have been talking about. No more freebies, no more handouts. He's going to make eligibility tougher for you to get food stamps, which I've never understood how it can be so easy. I mean, anybody can go down and say that they need something, but if you're able to work and you're able-bodied, then you should be able to go get a job, pay for your own food. That's for people that are really needy, especially like single mothers with families and this, that, and the other. But he's going to make eligibility tougher, and he's going to have work requirements. But $193 billion cut from food stamps. So that's huge. And that's going to save the American taxpayers money. It's going to save the American taxpayers money. $220 billion he's saving from the Saudi Arabia deal, $193 billion he's saving from food stamps. I mean, and they're going to battle him over the budget. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say, you're cutting too many programs. How is he ever going to balance the budget? How is any president ever going to balance the budget? You got to cut something.
Exactly.
We have to balance our budgets. We have to pay our bills. So why doesn't the American government? They got to pay their bills too, because we're the ones that have to pay the debt.
Look,
we're not getting any money.
I have to walk to work today because I got to save the money from the gas. I walk to work.
Did you hear that, CN? You let our boss walk to work today? That's a long way.
I know.
Nobody picked you up?
Nobody picked me up. I'm too ugly and too bad. I'm too old. Nobody wants to pick me up. No, but it's true. It is true, And people said, well, they didn't commit any crime. Well, the first crime was to jump the fence.
That's right.
That's the first crime.
That's right.
The second crime is like that lady that's been here 25 years and she was still illegal. At least make an effort to become legal. You don't have to become an American citizen if you don't want to. That's an honor that you might don't deserve. But you have to, first of all, you should have not come here the way you did it.
That's right. That's right.
And that is what a lot of people complaining about. They don't complaining about people wanting to come here. They wanted to come here, but they have to come here the right way.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, I can already hear the Democrats and the socialists complaining about the cut in food stamps and stuff, but that's just ridiculous. We have over 100 million Americans on food stamps. That is a shame. That is a lot of people depending on the government to feed them every day. And the taxpayers are paying for it. That's 100 million Americans on food stamps. That's ridiculous.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but these young people don't know what a record is, right?
They don't. They don't know what a record is.
So a broken Twitter. All we gotta do is enforce the law.
Mm-hmm.
And if we want to improve the law, let's copy the law from Mexico.
That's right.
And let's start treating the people that passing by without a visa and without a passport. Let's start treating them the same way that the Mexicans ICE treating them. Detainees.
That's right. That's right.
They rape women, sometimes they rape men, because they are mentally and sexually sick. And, but over there, if you're not Mexican, you cannot go to the doctor. If you're not Mexican, you cannot send your kid to school. If you're not Mexican, you can do nothing but give your dollars to the Mexican people.
That's it.
That's all.
That's so true. That's so true. It's absolutely right. It's amazing. The liberals, they want us to do everything and open up our borders and take care of everybody. But you go to other countries, you can't do that there. You can't just come to their country. You can't become a Mexican citizen. That's for daggone sure. You can't own property.
No, you can't.
I know that for a fact.
No.
You cannot own property. So
yeah,
it's just crazy, man. But they want to come here and have all their rights. And I'm so tired of hearing this argument. One of their bigger arguments is this used to be their land. They always say that. That's why they come here. They say this was their land, California.
It was their land. It was at one time.
That's right.
But if their government was corrupted and sold it for cheap money, it's not their money anymore. It's not their land anymore. As simple as that. If I sell you this candy bar and I said I want $1, you said I only gonna give you 25 cents. And I take the 25 cents discount, it's not mine no more. Right. It's a very simple argument.
That's right.
In Mexico, I knew a Cuban entertainer, Olga Guillot. She wanted to buy a property in Mexico, and she had to find a Mexican that go with her in the property. I don't know if it was a nightclub or whatever it was. Probably a nightclub, because most entertainers always wanted to buy a nightclub. But she had to find somebody that would take 51% of the business.
Wow.
Ownership, I don't know what it was. Ownership. And she got 49%. But that happened anywhere. Look, I went in business with somebody, and they only give me 40% instead of 60. Because I'm Cuban. That's they got they abused me because. But I accepted the 40%, and
not even looking.
She's ignoring me, that's all. Do you think I'm right, producer, or not?
You're absolutely right.
Huh? Uh-oh. I'm telling you, man. This is, that's the part of the crime. When people are wrong, they keep their mouth shut. That's what it is, right?
There's a Senate bill, 506. It would allocate $60 million to the program to provide parents with $5,200 a year to help pay for private school for children in the state of Nevada. The Senate Bill 506. What do you think about that?
I believe that the less you depend on the government, the better off you are.
Yes.
I also believe that if you are man enough to make a child, and she is woman enough to create that child, you need to be man and woman enough to support that child. It's your child, it's not the government child. So if the government is giving you money, don't get upset when the government is telling you what to do. It's very, I don't understand what is the complication on that thing. Sian, do you think as a woman, Do you think then you want the government to pay for the schooling for your kid and the hospitals and the medicine? That kid don't belong to you. What are you hiding over there? Oh, I don't. You know, all the years I've been in this country, I have never collected unemployment.
Wow.
And I work.
I haven't either. That's the
It's not that I don't work. I work on my own, but I work. Sometimes when you are on your own, you work more than me.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that maybe they should instead, it should be like maybe scholarship programs or something like that?
No, I don't think they need to spend that money. Why would they? Is that for real? How much money they're going to put out?
60 million.
Billions?
Million.
Millions with an M.
Yes.
Those parents should be ashamed of themselves. That's me not having a kid talking. You know, I don't believe why I never had a kid. I'll tell you why I never had a kid. I live a very, very open life. I believe that once, I said that yesterday, I said it again, once you have a child, your life should change.
Yes.
Once you have a child, you don't need a babysitter, you don't need a night care center, nothing like that. If you cannot take your child with you, you should not go to that place. If you cannot get up in the morning and dress your child and take it to school, you should not be having a child. That's my opinion. Maybe it's too old-fashioned, but you know, if you give me money to pay my rent, you give me groceries, and you give me money for gas, don't you think that give you a right to tell me, hey, don't use that much gas?
Probably. Yes.
Hey, save the light.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if Lou coming or not. Change the light, shut the light off until Lou get here. I mean, this place is not really a conservative place. Look at the windows. They got holes in the bottom. The air conditioning go that way. Don't smoke anymore. I'm just kidding.
I noticed this story that you probably seen the last few days, and I was going to talk about it yesterday. The death of Tosh Brown, and he's a young African American gentleman that died by a chokehold by a Metro police officer. And
He was in the military, right?
I'm not sure.
Is that the guy they showing on TV with the uniform?
I'm not sure if he was in the military. Officer Kenneth Lopero stunned him several times when he had him on the ground with a stun gun, and tasered him and punched him several times on the ground repeatedly before he applied the neck restraint. And they're saying that it was an illegal neck restraint. It wasn't the one that they teach in the Metro Police Academy.
You know, I don't want to sound like I'm debating everything you said today, but, and I can talk because when I was younger, I got into a fist fight with two detectives.
Wow.
Two, no one, two. Now you know who lost the fight. You know, it's a stupid. It is a stupid to fight with the police. The police stopped me, Chris, and believe me, they can call me any name in the world, and I will say, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. and I will not argue with the police. And of course, that mentality goes with you growing up, and you become an adult, and you become a normal person. You know. But believe me, I will not argue with a police officer, no matter how wrong they are and how right I am. That's what they have lawyers for. You know, but
what do you think about it? He was unarmed. Why do you think so many? This is the only thing that bothers me. I don't agree with Black Lives Matter. I mean, I think all lives matter. That should be the name of the organization. But it bothers me that so many unarmed young men are being. It's different. If you had a weapon, and they tell you to drop the weapon, and they tell you to get on the ground. But there's been a few incidences, and this is one of them. He was absolutely unarmed. He was on the ground. He was tased. He was punched, and then put in an illegal chokehold. Do you think there maybe there needs to be some sort of different kind of training that takes place for these police officers, or do you think in the heat of the moment?
Well, I don't know what incited, what create the escalation. I don't know why the communication between the two people started, but once the communication started, the police officer had to show that he is in control. And that's what I think. I don't believe you're better off letting the police officer taking his way, and if you get a chance, record the whole thing, and then you can go find a lawyer that have the courage and the manhood to sue the police department and make some money out of this. You know, it's simple as that. Make some money out of it. I know it's easy when you're not involved. I know it's easy when you're looking at somebody else. And I tell you, I was in the county jail for 14 hours, and I saw some stupidities being putting out there like crazy, you know. And those people in the jail were very, very patient. I don't know if they knew that I was there or whatever it was, but they were very patient with two people. One was a woman, you know. You got 14 police officers. How can you imagine that you're going to win?
You're not. You're not going to win. Yeah.
How? First of all, in their mind, they are super machos. They are superheroes. They are above the law. They are. They got the badge, they got the baton, and they got the gun. And they dress in blue and khaki.
Yes.
So they got 4 qualifications to be better than you, to be stronger than you. In my opinion, the best thing is try as best, because sometimes you cannot record the thing, not because you don't have the tools to record, but they will not let you record. That's another point. Oh, you're going to record me? You think you're going to do that? Give me that telephone.
Well, that's what led to the story, is that now that they have to have body cams, and the guy that did this story was talking about how different this would have been 5 years ago with no body cams. It would have been the plaintiff's word against Metro, and it was very obvious by his body cam that he used an illegal chokehold, and he's been suspended from the police force. So now everything they do is recorded. So although I know in your mind, I know you can change that film, or you can, they can edit that, they can do what they want to with it, but for once, it clearly showed that he used an illegal chokehold, and the guy was stunned. He was on the ground. They were punching him. They were kicking him, and then he came around the back of him and used the chokehold on him, and he died from it. It's just.
How was he again?
I don't know. I'm not saying he looked like he was in his 20s, maybe. But just for all you people out there, especially young men out there, when the police ask you to do something, please do what they ask you to do. It's like Rolando said. I mean, they're doing their job, and their job is to show that they are in control.
And also, you have to realize something that is very, very important. Right now, police officers, rightfully so, are running scared. Because they don't know. Look at those two police officers right here in Las Vegas. They was sitting at a table, eating a pizza, and this couple, this crazy nut couple, went there and shoot them.
That's right.
Okay? You cannot blame the cop for being nervous. So the best thing you can do for the best interest of everybody is when the police officer stop you, put your hands in the wheel and wait for instructions. And look at what I'm saying. I'm not saying wait for orders, wait for instructions. Driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration. I have it in the glove compartment, so can I get it? Yes, you get it. As soon as you said that, the guy is going to realize that you are not antagonistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
Give it the thing and stay there waiting for it. Answer most of the questions the most you can, the better you can, the truthfully you can. And 90%, I would like to think that 90% of the time, the picture will not be as ugly as it may look. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you get unlucky and you get a police officer that isn't that time of the month.
That's right.
You know, let me tell you, I had a police car saw me passing. They was parked in the McDonald's. I passed and they follow me. They follow me for about 10 blocks. I make a right turn, and they make a right turn. And when we got right in front of my neighborhood, right in front of my house, they put the lights and the sirens. I pulled over. I didn't even pull into my house. I pulled on the side of the street, and 2 more cars came. Beautiful police officer. She was blonde. She was beautiful lips. She got the pink lipstick on. You know, I wrote in the paper about that. She looks like she was coming out of a Playboy magazine. And I said Playboy, not hustler.
Right.
She had class. She was beautiful. I let her do everything she wanted to do. And then when she told me I can leave, I asked her, can I ask you a question? Yeah, sure. I said, why did you stop me? Well, because you didn't make a turn signal. I laughed and she said, what's so funny? I said, you've been following me since McDonald's. And when I make a turn in this street, because my family lived right in that house, you wanted to embarrass me. You want every neighbor in the proximity of my house to know that I was stopped by the police officer. That's not the case. So I said, can I get out? She said, wait until I leave. And they all leave, and then I got out, and I walked to my brother's house.
Do you think that's why they did it?
No, later on I find out that 2 police officers had been shot, and they were all drunk. It's normal. It's normal. I wouldn't. I didn't see anything. I don't know why my car. I don't know why my little tiny wrinkled car, but that was the way it was. I was going in Sahara. I make a left turn on my brother's street. Well, going to my brother's street, and just 10 blocks from there, it was a shooting and a police officer. I think it was 1 police officer was shot in some complex inside an apartment building. Yeah, so that is understandable. I think.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. A little good news for Las Vegas. Las Vegas was ranked in a national survey by convention and business travelers. The number 2 ranked city to have business meetings is Las Vegas. Number 1 is my hometown, Chicago.
really.
Number 1 ranked city
I
to
thought it
have
was
business
New York.
meetings. No, and number 3 is Atlanta, Georgia. It's crazy, huh? Yeah, Atlanta's very popular. It's a beautiful city too. Atlanta's very, but Las Vegas is number 2.
Yeah.
I guess if you wanted to have a meeting, there's no better place not to come to Vegas and have a meeting. You can have a little fun after the meeting. They do.
People
Any reason, they come up. That's right. Well, Trump's budget would cut the EPA, social programs, and slash cleanups. In the 2018 budget, he would cut the EPA budget in half. And, that's a direct hit at Obama. Obama was big and funded the EPA and not digging for oil and having the air clean and all those socialist nutty things that he did. So Trump has really opened that up. And I know a big thing with me, I think we should start really producing, some oil. We're sitting on a lot of oil and a lot of natural gas in this country. And, we are too dependent to me on the Middle East for our gas and our gas prices. And I just think that we need to open up some drilling here and in Alaska and on our northern border with Canada. We have a lot of oil here in this country. I don't know why. I know we have a lot of reserves. There's probably a good reason for it. But I think that the United States is about time for us to become, to me, energy independent. I think we pay way too much for gas, and we're too dependent on, OPEC for them to set the prices on gas. I think that can really.
And you know what? We got oil.
We got lots of oil. We're sitting on a lot of natural resources.
I don't understand why.
I don't either. I don't understand it.
But I don't know what she put in that water, but it makes me sick.
One little story here, a little tidbit. It's probably the last story I covered today. Lawmakers question Laxalt about recorded talk with gaming board chairman. Nevada Gaming Control Board Chairman A.G. Burnett and Attorney General Adam Laxalt answered questions from lawmakers who are considering legislation to set up an independent legal counsel for the regulatory agency. Burnett recorded a March 2016 conversation he had with Laxalt about a lawsuit involving GOP donor and casino mogul Sheldon Adelson. Burnett said Wednesday that he submitted the audio to the FBI after consulting with Brian Sandoval's office.
That's a story for tomorrow.
Yes.
That is.
I didn't even know Sheldon Adelson was involved in that story. I had no idea that's who they were talking about. But that's, yeah.
Well, remember that Sandoval, Laxalt is a Republican. Sheldon Adelson is a Republican. I don't know who the other guy is, but and Sandoval
Yes.
pretend to be a Republican, so I don't know.
We'll talk more about that tomorrow. The
Yes,
Las Vegas Tribune will be out tomorrow, correct? Please go online and read the Las Vegas Tribune. A lot of excellent columns will be out tomorrow. And make sure, once again, you Google and watch Face the Tribune with Rolando Larraz. He's headed towards 700 shows. The guy's a legend, and if you look back at some of the shows, he's had everybody that you can think of in the city of Las Vegas on the show. Stay tuned to Chris Garcia, the Conservative American, in about 5 minutes. God bless America, God bless our troops, and Godspeed to Donald Trump. Please be safe on your trip.